Hi everyone, I'm Mark.
And I'm Kevin.
And my wife is here with me.
Hello.
So, today we're going to talk about some video games.
Ever popular video games.
So, here lately, for a while now, you've been streaming Final Fantasy VIII, right?
I have.
When did you start doing that?
Honestly, I didn't start streaming it until I actually got it off of Steam. About, a month ago, maybe 2.
Alright.
Just decided I'd stream it so that I can play it with Allison.
That's right. She helps out a little bit sometimes, doesn't she? Like,
Well,
hey, you keep on, you're like, what should I do now?
Well, I let her make all the decisions when it comes to stuff like, what should I say, this or this? Be your choice. Okay. I've played a game so many times I can go through pretty much every option and tell you what happens, but...
Oh, that's right. You've got, like, everything down.
Final Fantasy VIII is pretty much my game, yeah. 7, pretty much the same thing.
Alright.
I'm getting there on 9.
Oh, the babies are crying.
Yeah?
He's 1 month today.
Getting big, huh?
Yeah. I remember back in the day before streaming video games or streaming a whole bunch of anything. It was back right around when YouTube was starting to get popular. There was was a few sites that were out there after YouTube had come out. That,
right around 2006.
Yeah, so they would they perform streaming. You could stream on them and everything. I can't even remember what they were. But I would stream Pokemon. I would play Pokemon Red and Blue, and I didn't play the 2nd gen too much, but I played the 3rd gen a bunch, and I would have a lot of people that I actually watch. You end up playing a little bit too late for people to actually watch live.
Yeah, I can't help it. I'm a night owl. But, I remember high school, or maybe right after high school. I was over at your house on my laptop, and I had a couple emulators. And I was just like,
yeah.
You remember any games from your childhood? Give me some titles to throw out.
We've done that. The Game Boy emulator.
Yeah.
I remember you suggested Golden Sun.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
It was alright.
I mean, for it being a Game Boy Advance game, there was a lot of
That's
good
what he
mechanics.
suggested to me too.
I think you really liked it.
I did. I mean, like you've got how the turn-based system worked and everything. That it wasn't necessarily 3D, but it was a lot more into the battle, like how they switched back and forth between the fighting and everything. It reminded me a lot of Final Fantasy in that regard.
Yeah.
One game that I like to play, because I was playing a lot of Game Boy Advance games, was Final Fantasy Tactics.
Speak of the devil.
Yeah.
That's what I'm playing right now on my PSP. Actually, I'm just kind of mastering all the job classes right now.
Yeah, because
I'm at the end of the game. I mean,
you're absolutely crazy about Final Fantasy.
I am. It's my series.
And you've always played Final Fantasy games.
Final Fantasy, pretty much any Square Enix game I've always been pretty big fan of.
Except for Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. I never really cared for Kingdom Hearts. I mean, I've tried it. I have it at home. I've got 1 and 2.
I freaking loved it.
Oh, yeah.
Until my PlayStation kept freezing and I had to factory reset it every time I got to the same dang world.
Well, that's always fun.
Oh, I did it like 4 times.
And our PlayStation ended up getting stolen, and it forced you into labor with our first son. Not my first son, but ours. But I think one thing that I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos about it here lately is how on the retro gaming, how the code was laid out in the system and everything. And do you know about the missing no glitch?
I do.
Okay.
One of the most common.
It's like the biggest one. It was actually broken down as to why it happened and how it happened. So what it was when you approached the old man, literally what would happen is instead of it being that the old man was a specific character, because it was the same battle animation and everything,
Yeah.
it would overwrite your name. So whatever your name was, it would then become old man. And your name gets stored in the same area that the Pokemon data is stored for the random Pokemon encounters. Now, whenever you go into a new area, that always gets reset. Unless you fly. So,
Explains a lot.
you fly, it doesn't get reset, and then you swim up and down those tiles, and it ends up going off of your name as to what the level in the Pokemon is.
Right. I always found that interesting.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, especially considering that there were so many theories as to what was going on.
Yeah.
And now
Ghost in the game.
now that we're older and, you know, we actually understand things a little bit better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
So, what is your favorite non-Final Fantasy game?
Oh, you just had to do that to me, didn't you?
Oh yeah. Don't worry, the next question is going to be about your favorite Final Fantasy game.
Oh, okay. Well, even non-Final Fantasy, it's still very difficult for me to choose because
Yeah.
I'm a big gamer in general. For a time, I would play Minecraft with a bunch of friends I met through League of Legends.
Me and you did it a few times. too.
Yeah. We
built
did
that
Minecraft
huge-
on the PlayStation.
Huge world. That was. I say huge.
All
I
three of
mean.
us got on it at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it lagged real hard.
I mean, that's what happens when you play on a PS3. Well, I mean, not just PS3, but like a 10, 15-year-old PS3.
Yeah, that's true. Although,
Refurbished.
my PS3 is from original release and it still runs.
Well,
just
that's
perfect.
why, is because it was
Ours was
original.
refurbished.
Ours, well, no, it wasn't just that. It was the fact that it was the second generation of PS3. It was the PS3 Slim.
Oh,
Yeah,
gross.
yeah. It wasn't even the good one where it had like all the room and everything. They ended up
Well,
downsizing a whole bunch.
Hold on. Ours didn't have the slip top.
No,
Yeah,
it was.
Ours,
top?
ours had the little disc
but it
where
was.
you slipped it in.
it was still
That's
the
the one
Slim.
that I really liked.
It was, but it was still.
It's the one I
Slim.
grew up with.
It was still the Slim though. The original PS3.
I had more
The
issues.
original PS3 is like.
I
it's
had
got
more
that-
issues with the bigger one with the top that like slid open.
That's not this one.
No,
that's
the
not the
one we
original.
had was not that one.
I know, but it wasn't the original.
But I had more
Yeah, that
issues
definitely
with the
wasn't
original.
one.
The original with the top that slid
That's
open.
not the original.
No, that one's not the original
How many
one.
generations do they have? of
There's like
PS3?
3 or 4
They released
PS3.
they released it like 3 or 4
There's like
times
2.
because improvements, so they said, but
Not
Me too.
yeah, not all of them were
Tell
improvements.
how much of a gamer I
Well,
am.
I mean, really, if you take a look at the Sony PlayStation origin, it's all kinds of messed up. I don't know if you know about it at all, but what ended up happening was Nintendo paired with Sony to make the Nintendo PlayStation.
I know, you've told me
Okay.
the story.
So they did that, and then Sony was like, you know what?
we're gonna pull out on you.
Yeah, we're gonna try and do this on our own, and they did, and they created a platform that took off very well. Nintendo was kind of butthurt about it. They ended up going out with the N64. They've got a lot of good games on the
It
N64.
was more than kind of butthurt. They were fucking pissed.
Yeah,
They
But-
lost a lot of money on that.
but then once PS2 came out, Microsoft was like, "Hey, we should get in on this game," and they did. And they came out with a few good titles. Halo was really good. I don't know if you ever got to actually play that.
I was never into Halo. I had chances to play, but I'm not really a shooter type person.
Yeah, I remember you're not big into FPSs all that much, or even. I mean, that was first person and third person, I think, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. But I'd try and get you to play Call of Duty with me, and you're like, nope. And I'm like, fine, gosh.
The only thing I did on Call of Duty is fucking zombies.
Yeah, because zombies. Come
And I
on.
did that a lot with Allison. She can attest to that in the comments. Let's see. Another great game that isn't Final Fantasy would be still by their company, Legend of Dragoon.
I've seen that one.
The game was actually a lot better than everyone gives it credit for. It's kind of shorter than I expected it to be, but at the same time, it is one of my favorites.
No, I mean, it was probably. I mean, I've seen companies do this where
It was 4-disc. I will say that. It was
somebody will
4-disc.
end up going out and they're like, you know what, I want to make my own project. And that's probably what happened there was somebody was like, I want to make my own project, but they didn't want to take away from Final Fantasy.
It's probably true.
Yeah.
It played a lot. Well, I would guess it'd be. The battle was a lot more like Final Fantasy, except for additions, where you'd have to time a button press
Oh.
repeatedly to get the best additions you can, and if
That sounds
you successfully
crazy.
do it all the way through, you get maximum damage and
Right.
an extra attack on it and all that. It was really interesting.
Have you played the Portal games?
I have, yeah. I played the original on the writing block, actually. Back when that still existed.
Oh, that it was like the 2D version.
Yep.
Oh man, I love that. I'm gonna have to try and find a version of that because that was.
Good luck. I've been
Yeah.
looking everywhere for that.
That's why you contacted me, isn't it?
Well, that was part of it. I also wanted to see if you had any of the old stuff we had on.
No, that's all gone. See, we used to belong to it was a bulletin board website. That was
It was a writer's
yeah,
forum.
it was a writer's forum, and there was role playing. There was people putting out stories, all that stuff, and it really took off. There was a lot of members on there, something
It really
like
was.
2,000-3,000. I mean, that was a lot for a platform like that, and then the guy who created it, who at the time was a good friend of mine, he added in a game section, which ultimately kind of ruined the site.
Unfortunately. Although, I
Because-
was on the game section all the time.
Everybody decided to go to the game section instead of to the forum.
Yeah, he really balls that up.
But well, it was fun while it lasted.
That is true.
Yeah, and I found that there was a way to cheat one of the games. It was like a running game or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was. I was able to slow down the game by basically playing it on a really old computer, which
Yeah.
helped me time out everything just right, and I was able to get further than everybody else.
You fucking cheater.
But that's the thing about me in video games is I like to figure out.
You look for
what-
exploits.
Yeah, I look for exploits. I see what I can do to break the game too. That's not uncommon for some people.
Game I've been playing recently on PlayStation 4, Detroit Being Human, or Becoming Human, something along those lines. I can't remember exactly.
I think
It blew up pretty fast, and I avoided even looking at anything about it, which in this day and age is actually kind of impressive.
Yeah, I know. Well, you're not really on Facebook all that much, so it helps.
Well, I don't even use Facebook at all anymore. I've pretty much deactivated my account, and I just use it for my mobile phone games to log in
Oh yeah.
so that I don't lose anything when I inevitably have to restart my phone. Bog that thing down too much.
Oh, so back to Portal. When it comes down to the actual console games and the computer game,
Yeah.
I ended up watching, Fine Brothers Entertainment, their React videos.
I remember the Fine Brothers. I still watch them.
Yeah, there's a few things that they put out, like a lot of the
times anymore, I just do the don't laugh challenges.
it's
Just the simple stuff. I don't get into all their videos anymore like I used to.
surprisingly, I can do a lot of those challenges.
The
very
older
well.
reacts ones are actually pretty amusing to watch too.
Oh yeah, but I watched I think it was a teen react or kid react to Portal, and they actually played through a good portion of the first game.
I think it was teens.
I wanted to reach through the computer screen
And strangle somebody.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I remember exactly what you're feeling because I felt it.
Every single one of those kids was like, they were like looking at this and going, whoa, what do I do?
It was
Portal.
Hey, you had to show me how to play.
I know, but once I showed you how to play, you took off. These kids got all the way up to level 11 and still didn't get the entire grasp of the game.
To escape?
Well, just how they had to do it. Like, they didn't realize, oh, I gotta put a portal here, I gotta put a portal here, and put a portal here.
They would literally launch a portal at the freaking dripping stuff.
Yeah.
And then just stare at it like, oh, what am I
then-
doing now?
And then die a whole bunch of times.
Watched one jump right into the ooze. I'll just swim across. Wrong.
Yeah, no. Wrong.
Swimming doesn't exist in Portal.
How many Mario games have you played?
Not too many. I did have Mario 64.
I think everybody had a Mario 64.
Yeah,
like
everybody had
almost
Mario
everybody had a Nintendo 64, but like nobody talks about it.
It's true. I've noticed that. But yeah, I had Mario 64. I had I think it was Super Mario Brothers 2 for my Game Boy Advance.
Back in the day, my mom got a Nintendo
Yeah.
and Mario Brothers, the first one, and you know she got it for me,
Right.
but
Yeah, I remember
every
being little
morning
and playing Mortal Kombat.
every morning she'd get up and play it. Every morning,
And games are hard to refuse, man.
I know, right? But Mortal Kombat, that is like,
Like one of the original Mortal Kombats, I remember playing it on. I don't remember which system it was at the old house.
probably Sega, because that's what it first released on.
It could have been the Sega system. That got stolen. I remember that. It sucked.
How'd that get stolen?
Well, the house got broken into, and they stole most of our movies and
Yeah, back in the
a
day,
lot of our
that's
stuff. That was back when, that stuff was worth stuff. Nowadays, people are like, if it's not a smartphone, it's not even really worth it.
I bought
And even then-
it was the Sega. A remake at, shoot, where was I working?
Rule King.
Rural King, out in Xenia.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I got him, you plugged it into the TV and it had like all the games pre-downloaded onto it. It was,
Oh, no.
It was awful.
yeah.
Oh, God. I hate those.
I tried though.
It's just like the...
That was his Christmas present.
It's just like the PS1 or whatever that they were trying to release.
Yeah, I don't think that was going to work out very well. I know the
I mean, they
Nintendo
did release it, but...
I know the Nintendo one worked out very well. Like, everybody loved it.
Well, see, problem is you can't put any games into it, so even if you had the old games, it was pointless to buy one of those. They had stuff preloaded, but you can't add anything to it.
What was great about the Sega one was it actually had a slot so you could play Sega games,
Yeah.
but the controls were awful. And it was, I think it was infrared. That's what made it wireless, quote unquote. So you'd end up using one controller and it wouldn't work because it's trying to read the other controller.
Ah, the good old switcheroo.
Now,
I'm pretty sure the player 1, player 2 on the controls were actual like little itty bitty switches, weren't they?
Uh-huh. And they didn't work.
Never did.
Mm-hmm.
It's the thought that counts in the day.
So, what is your favorite non-Final Fantasy game? I mean, I know you're not too big into Final Fantasy in the first place, but...
Right. Well, I mean, I do have a favorite Final Fantasy game, though.
Right.
It's Final Fantasy VIII. That was the very first one that I played. But, honestly, I'd have to go with Pokemon.
I can see Pokemon.
Because...
I can't myself choose Pokemon because,
Yeah.
I mean, Yeah, I grew up with it. It was probably one of the very first games on my own that I ended up getting. But at the same time, it wasn't by any means my all-time favorite. But I could see how some would choose it. I mean, it's to this day still a huge, massive
Yes.
following.
And there's some Pokemon that my son knows that I don't know. And
I mean,
then
heck,
there's...
just play Pokemon Go and you're just like...
I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
When I first started playing it, I was like, oh, hey, cool, they're keeping with the 150.
And then suddenly the others showed up.
Nope.
But I mean, I'm not complaining. It lets me learn it a little bit more, I guess. But at the same time, it's just like, do I really care?
It's hard to keep up.
Speaking of, on Thursdays, you need to join us.
Thursdays.
Isn't that why your day off?
We'll discuss that later.
Whenever your day off, we want to try and get with you so that we can actually go around and catch Pokemons together.
Yeah,
We're
we could
gonna
do
have
that.
to work on our teams, though.
Yeah, we gotta try and save up enough pointage to switch teams because we're
Yeah, you don't want to be Team Potato.
we're Team Potato.
You are Team Potato. You want to go red.
Yeah, that's what your parents chose, wasn't it? The red team.
Always go Valor. Never go Mystic. Mystic's for...
Oh,
I'm
that's
not even
Team
going to
Potato.
say it.
That's Team Potato.
Mystics? We're Instinct.
I know.
Yeah, that's
Mystic is just,
they're the
everybody
bullies.
rushes it. Yeah, Mystic.
I
Mystic.
I picked Instinct because I lived my life on my instincts, dang it.
Yeah.
So, nah.
I had picked it for Zapdos, but they were releasing them all, so...
Instead of it being like, yeah, you're gonna get this for your team.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what everybody was thinking.
I should have just gone with my vodka.
Yeah.
Having a hard time over there?
She's not doing too well with her wine.
I mean...
And I'm a whitehead.
I mean, I'm not too big on it, but at the same time, I'm not really big on
Just not
drinking.
feeling it today.
I made mead.
It's pretty good, too. I mean, I'll give them that.
Yeah, it's
As we're sitting here complaining about it, not being big fans of it.
Well, I mean, I've never been a fan of wine, so...
But I have.
And
But-
it's a very winey taste.
but for it being a homemade alcohol, it's pretty good.
It is.
That is true. It came out better than I expected.
So, we've answered the non-Final Fantasies. So now what's your favorite Final Fantasy?
8. I said that already. But there's again, one of the biggest reasons is because it's the first one that I played. I loved how the storyline played out, and back in the day, those graphics to me were amazing.
They were pretty good, especially in the cinematics.
And even when I'm watching you replay the games, I'm like, this game came out how long ago?
It still looks pretty good.
Yeah. Now,
Although they are remastering it.
no, I wouldn't doubt it. Honestly,
They announced it at E3, they're finally getting around to remastering it. It's been, I don't even know how long. It came out in 2000, so I guess almost 20 years.
yeah. Did it really come out in 2000?
It did.
I would have been either 9 or 10.
I'd have been a year younger.
Yeah. Either 7 or 8. Wait.
8 or 9. Genius.
And that's how video games get glitched.
Yep.
I put the wrong hexadecimal point.
You know you're old when you can't even do the math for your own age.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I have to really think about it sometimes. I'm
I
not
do
even.
too, unfortunately.
I'm not even all that old. What? What are you doing?
Damn it.
It's not cold enough.
Didn't work. Mine's got ice in it.
Oh, it's got ice in it?
Yes.
Okay.
Hoping it would be
One problem I always had with Final Fantasy VIII was because it was a bootleg copy.
Ah,
Yeah.
you got it booted.
Yeah. It worked. I had the stuff in it that made the disc work and everything.
Right.
The
You had all
problem
the data
was
and
that
stuff.
the second disc was corrupted,
I hate that.
so I wasn't able to finish out. It was like right after the gosh, it's been so long. What is it with the clock tower or whatever?
Oh, right after the end of the first disc?
Yeah, right after the end of the first disc. I put in the second
right
disc.
at the end of the first disc.
I put in the second disc. It starts up. I go into the battle and then it freezes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad. So I'm gonna have to try and get it off of you at some point. I need a better computer before I do that, though.
Well, I got it on Steam, and I do have a hard copy as well. 2 of them, actually.
I know you got hard copies because I tried to borrow them at one point and I just wasn't able to. I wasn't able to play it. I didn't have time for it. Like I wanted to, but I didn't.
That was back right after high school, I think.
Grape.
Not grape, artificial grape.
God.
Mine.
Damn.
Why would you do that?
Freaking fake grape. Nasty.
Fruit punch, Kool-Aid
I like it. Thank you very
with
much.
artificial
Oh, it's got a
grape
chalky aftertaste.
vodka.
It's because it's a water flavor. It's one of the Hawaiian Punch single
No,
serve
Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid, whatever. Fruit punch.
Man, it was really that bad for you?
I don't like chalky aftertaste.
You got a palate cleanser right there.
Yeah, I did that.
Oh, okay.
It melded. I didn't like it.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Well, we're over here talking about our favorite video game. What's your favorite video game?
I'm not really a gamer.
Well, you've played some games.
But you have played.
You've completed some games. You've completed more games than I have.
That is probably
I
true.
completed the Ezio trilogy.
Yeah, that's
Like-
3 games. You want to know how many games I've completed?
Pokemon.
2 Pokemon games.
No,
Oof.
I like Assassin's Creed. I didn't complete the 3rd in the Ezio trilogy. I was really close to it, and then the asshole stole our PlayStation or games. And that was one game I kept. No, I kept Black Flags because I hadn't beat that one yet either. But he stole my Ezio trilogy.
Oh wait, I say that, but I've also completed both Portals.
Yeah. It's okay. But yes, Assassin's Creed is pretty high up there. It's like the one that I could really lose myself in.
And then
That
there's me.
Minecraft.
Then there's me. The number of games I've completed is already too high to count.
You've completed the same amount of games that you've read Stephen King novels.
My mom
Still too high to count.
met
Yeah.
Stephen King.
Oh yeah, her mom met Stephen King.
Didn't have a
know
clue who it was. No, she was a kid, okay? She was like maybe middle school. And her best friend were at the mall. And he was there. And the best friend was like, oh my God, do you know who that is? Do you know who that is? And my mom didn't have a clue.
Didn't she bump into him?
I think so.
Yeah, bumped
They
into him.
lived in Maine.
My heart.
Yeah, well,
I loved his writing. I really did.
I don't. But I don't like creepy shit either.
Well, I mean, he's got some really good stuff. Like, did you know that you knew Shawshank Redemption was his, right?
No.
The full
You
title.
didn't know
of it,
Shawshank was his?
the full
No.
title of the book. It's a short story.
It is.
Rita.
Oh,
Hay-
yeah, you brought it up to
yeah,
me.
Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Prison. Or it's Shawshank Redemption's the movie, but the title is Shawshank Prison. Whatever.
Yeah.
See, you'll hate me for saying this, but anytime someone talks about Final Fantasy, I get Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts titles mixed up.
Oh.
I don't know.
I don't
The
understand
font
that.
is similar, maybe? I don't freaking know.
Well, I mean, they're both by Square Enix, but
That's probably it. That's probably it. because
How
the
do you
opening-
get Mickey
opening title-
Mouse mixed up with...
Dude, no, I know the games are different. I just get the titles mixed up, okay? I knew you were going to have an issue with that.
well, how about
Especially finding out you're so big with Final Fantasy. I didn't know that.
here's a good way to really think about it is when it comes down to Kingdom Hearts, the word kingdom can be associated with Disney.
The Disney
Kingdom.
Kingdom.
Disney.
Honey, I have alcohol in my system. I'm
Yeah,
probably
you're,
not going to
you're
remember
talking
this.
to a blank wall right now.
Alcohol, blank wall.
Look, okay, I just had a baby. I've not had much alcohol. I've not had much time to have fun. So the alcohol hits me a little bit harder than it normally would.
I understand that. It's okay.
Plus, I put probably like 2 shots of vodka in this, so on top of half of that.
Yeah. I get it.
I will sleep well tonight.
Favorite mobile
Hopefully.
game?
Yeah. Well, that's also a tough one. Because I've got a lot of Final Fantasy mobile games.
I know.
Puzzle games.
Currently, I got 2 favorites that I'm playing. One's Final Fantasy, the other's not Final Fantasy.
Well, what's the not Final Fantasy
The
one?
not Final Fantasy one actually happens to be a Pokemon one.
Oh, Pokemon Go. No, it's not Pokemon Go.
Micromon Adventures.
It's not even an official Pokemon
It's not.
game.
But at
But
the
it's-
same time, it's
I've
really
played it. It looks. It's. Isn't it an idle game too?
I don't remember.
I don't think it's an idle game. It's mapped out a lot.
I mean, it
similar
kind of
to-
is an idle game because you get
See,
experience and stuff
I
while
have
you're off.
issues with a lot
So yeah, that's an idle game.
of mobile games because most advertisement that people get for mobile games is through things like Facebook and Facebook ads. And Facebook ads lie about games. Bad.
Yeah, they do.
There is some company, some advertising company that like all of these games are going through that advertises all of the games as these really sweet puzzle games, and then you download the damn game and it is nothing. Like the advertisement.
Oh yeah, I've
Like,
had my
oh
fair
my
share of
gosh.
those.
Like I keep seeing the Gardenscape ads.
And Gardenscape hasn't played anything like the ads.
Anything like the ads, because I've had it before all of these ads came out for it.
Right.
And it's nothing like that. It's a combination of Candy Crush, like that style of like
God.
matching, and God, there's another game that I don't even remember what it's called, but like you get like 3 choices to upgrade and fix everything. Like they tell you have to like get a new couch, right? You have to get all of these candies for the couch. Then you get all the candies, and they only give you like 3 freaking options of couches to pick. It's so stupid.
So Kevin just handed me his phone.
Oh God.
He's got a folder dedicated to strictly Final Fantasy games. There's 9.
Well, there should be more, but unfortunately, I don't have them downloaded right now.
There.
Plus, I have Xvius under dailies because that's the one I play.
So that's 10.
10. Yeah.
There's 10 Final Fantasy games on your phone.
Yeah.
They make that many mobile Final Fantasy
You can
games?
get Final Fantasy 7, 9, 1, 2, 3 on your phone now.
Wow.
4. You can get most of them. I'm eventually going to have them all.
I do not doubt that in the slightest.
Oh, the other one I get mixed up is Final Combat.
What?
Is that what it's called? No, shit. What is it called?
Mortal Kombat?
Yeah. That,
We were just talking about that.
Wait, how do you mix that up with anything?
I don't even know.
That doesn't make any sense.
Okay, did you not hear what I called it though?
Final Combat. It's the Final
Oh,
Combat.
Jesus.
You have.
Shut up.
We're trying to keep this PG-13.
That was your fault.
Only one F-bomb allowed. Come on now.
How many did we drop?
Probably 5.
I think
Probably.
every single one of us has dropped.
At least once.
It happens.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Did you ever see that Mortal Kombat game where you created your own character and it was a 3D world? You were able to actually go around and you could actually meditate and stuff and wait for certain events to happen.
That sounds kind of familiar.
What game?
A Mortal Kombat game.
I feel like I remember that because, like, you could go like really deep in depth with your character creation, right?
I
Like
can't
so much
remember
is
that.
like adding patterns to like the clothing and stuff.
I know that there's a few games like that.
No, it was a Mortal Kombat one because I played it, and because it was with my ex, and
I don't know why you're gonna say sorry.
his female friend would sit there for hours creating her damn character because she was trying to keep the guys off of playing zombies. So I would like
Zombies is so much better though.
Oh yeah, totally.
when you're someone like me who doesn't like horror of any kind. Yeah. See, y'all did the dang supernatural one without me when you very well should have had me there for that because of my issue with horror and supernatural stuff.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, so you guys are gonna have to do a part 2 on that for that.
Lord knows we have plenty of stories for it.
Oh, plenty of stories.
But yeah, I don't do many horror stuff. I can do more supernatural than sci-fi.
I think you forgot one.
What did I forget?
I'm about to say this, and you're gonna be like, "Oh crap! Yeah, that's my favorite non-Final Fantasy game, Resident Evil."
Oh shit.
How did you forget that?
Well, actually, funny thing is, the only one I've actually played is Code Veronica.
Really?
Really?
You haven't played any of the other ones?
Know everything about them. Seen it all the way through for every game. Never played it myself.
You know what? That's still enough to like the video game. That's like, I have watched plenty of people play other video games, and
that's
I
pretty
like
much what I do when I'm
bored.
not playing myself.
Stop playing with yourself, Kevin.
I can't help it.
No, if you want to talk about someone and like true like in-depth obsession with the game, go visit my father.
Him and Ark.
No.
He'll cycle through games.
Ark is kind of done for. Like they had a friend who got them into that. I mean, so far the friend spent like $50 to get his own server, and
Then
like got my
stopped
parents
taking
real
care of
into it, and like my parents were everyday hardcore all day, and then the guy who bought the server stopped and just like abandoned my parents, and they got kind of pissed off about that.
Oh.
No, when it comes to a game that my dad always falls back on and is hardcore into, it's Minecraft.
Or
He will-
Skyrim.
Yeah, but Minecraft is more.
Yeah, Minecraft is like one of the ones that
He does a lot
really...
more with that. With
I
Skyrim,
actually
he just
agree.
spams the dang thing. Like he will go and he will like find every possible
exploit,
like glitches and stuff, and do them all. Like he found one where there's a one of the cat people who's a salesperson.
Khajiits.
Yeah, like, and he found that where like she had a special chest you had to go find and get everything from it and take it back to her, and you're supposed to give everything to her, and then you take everything out of her inventory and then kill her, and then it resets her inventory. So, and he would save it right before killing her. So he would take everything from her, like go get the chest, take everything from her, save, kill her, and then do it all again. Like he got freaking rich on just what he stole from her. Like,
I don't even need to do that stuff to get rich. I just do the alchemy trick.
my gosh. But no, Minecraft, he will find anything, any video that he can create stuff. Like he's got
I mean, you've seen my building skills in Minecraft.
It's nothing.
No, this is machinery.
Oh, I can do that
he
too.
He had like he made the automatic tree farm, monster farming. He's working on an
One day
automatic.
I'm gonna make the playable Game Boy.
Huh?
One day I'm gonna make a playable Game Boy in Minecraft.
Oh, I'm pretty sure my dad could do it. Like he's right now, or like what he was doing recently was he was trying to build a hot air balloon and put a monster spawner in the hot air balloon. and he had it like just high enough that they would spawn and then like try to get him and then drop, and they would drop from the hot air balloon to the ground and kill themselves.
Yeah.
Like there was God, what else has he done? He has a automatic fisher where he's got the 2 hooks lined up with a tripwire and like casts out, and it just catches and catches and catches. And he was like,
yeah, that's a newer exploit.
He took me into one of his rooms that he's got all of his chests in, and he had like 5 or 6 chests just with enchanted books that he caught from fishing.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm throwing them away because I'm getting so many. Like, but he'll sit there and he'll watch YouTube video after YouTube video after YouTube video. And he was telling me, he was telling me it's not that hard to do because I've got it on my phone. I've been trying to get into stuff.
Easy.
Well, he was like, if you're having that big of an issue, just kind of like take a piece of paper off to the side and like sketch it out and like use like shorthand and everything and then take it to that. And I was like, that's just too much. Like, but I mean, like, he has a fully functioning kingdom that he has created that it's like,
How he's got his
Well, I was-
oh God.
I was part of a server at one point. It's been shut down for quite some time now, but back when it first released and all that, I was part of a server with, like I said earlier, a group of League of Legends friends.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, we were getting ready to build an exact replica of the Resident Evil Manor.
Oh my gosh.
And
All
I
the way
had it
down.
all mapped down to the very blocks needed and all of that. And we were ready to build it, but then the server got shut down.
All the way down to the sub basements.
Just done.
Oh.
The guy didn't want to take care of it anymore, and nothing we could do about it. Kind of sucked, but nothing we could do.
Yeah.
That was back when I tried hosting a server once, but I had that old compact laptop.
The really cool thing about Minecraft just by itself is that it's a generational game.
Yeah.
It is.
Like, John plays it. He'll be 10. He's been playing it for how many years? Like, probably 3 now
Mm-hmm.
that he's been into it.
Uh-huh.
We all enjoy it and play it. My
Oh, yeah.
father freaking loves it. Like, it's not a hard game to understand. I'm not gonna lie, when it was first coming out and really first getting popular, I freaking hated it.
Because everybody was getting
Just because it was popular?
No. Because I hated pixelation.
Yeah.
And to me, it was all square blocks. I thought it was stupid and it wasn't as creative as it could be.
And
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 then
now
you
they
saw
came
people
out.
building circles with squares.
No, it wasn't even that. Like,
All these
I
games make a circle.
refused to play it for so long and just thought it was so stupid because. Ugh. But then they came out with Roblox, which
Oh,
is
God.
similar but has different shapes, and that is horrible. Like, John has shown me some of that stuff, and I'm like, I'm glad I got into Minecraft because that just is bad. Like, no thank you.
it's like all of the Minecraft mini games. That's literally all it is.
I don't even know, like, but being an artist and a creative person in general, like, for whatever reason, I just hated the idea of a single shape being used for everything, like, which is kind of stupid from an artist standpoint. Like, you know, be creative with what you have, but I could not get behind it, and now I absolutely love it. Like,
I mean, I've built some amazing things. I've seen some really
Oh, yeah.
amazing things built.
oh yeah, like I have sat there and played days on days. Like, I have given myself migraines
Oh,
from
yeah.
how intent, like, and close to the screen I am just playing this crap. And
And as little sleep as we
Oh.
were getting. and
Well, you
everything.
remember
can't do
the
that
altar
with kids
room, right?
anymore.
I remember the altar room. We spent hours on that thing.
Looks so damn good too.
Yep. I miss it.
I do too. I haven't been on the PS3 since then, I don't think.
Well, yeah, I mean, after we got ours stolen from us, it was kind of hard to do much of anything.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't even want to get a 3 anymore. Go up to a 4.
Yeah. And then we'll probably end up doing the same thing. Kevin will be like,
They have Minecraft on the 4 now. They moved it up. That would be fun.
No, you want to know probably my all-time favorite game ever, on top of anything else that I've ever played?
Monopoly.
No. Spyro.
Oh my gosh, yes. Spyro's good.
I remember loving Spyro, and I actually got the trilogy. My girlfriend, Allison, got it. And I went through and played it. It was good. I loved it, but it wasn't what I remember it to be.
We had, growing up, so
I remember it being
was,
so hard when I was younger.
I was a
And
foster. Those little blue fuckers.
That's the thing.
Oh my god, like, oh, I hated those
fucking
things.
eight thieves, yeah.
Oh, no. So, being adopted, I came into my family when I was 4, right? They had a PlayStation 1. We played the original Spyro on it.
I still have a PlayStation.
It was... if I wasn't playing it, I was watching my sister play it. That was the game we played. And then we got PlayStation 2, and then we got the next Spyro game. And we sat there and just played the crap out of it. Thing was, I wasn't focused on winning the game. I was just playing to play, get as many gems as I could, kill as many creatures as I could. Like, that's all I did. I didn't care what the final outcome was. So, back when we had the PlayStation 3, my friend Jessica bought the trilogy for the PlayStation 2, but formatted for PlayStation 3. And we sat there. She beat the dang thing.
She could probably
3 hours?
She could probably compete in a
less. Because she knows exactly where every single thing is, and when I would be stuck on something, she would literally take me right to what I was missing. Like, she played that crap back and forth. Like, she could probably play it blindfolded, like, no issue.
I remember playing it when I was younger, and it was so hard and all that, and then
like, I'm pretty sure she
wow.
plays it literally just to beat her best time anymore, like, because she knows everything. But like she's
That's
got
kind
it.
of how I am with 8 sometimes. It's just like I can speedrun this easy, but
right.
I can do the low level challenge or no level challenge. Actually,
she downloaded it to our PlayStation, and I was finally able to beat the first 2. And then I found out that they were redoing it and like amping it up for PlayStation 4, and like that's almost one of the driving reasons for me to get a PlayStation 4 is I want to play the refurbished version.
So when it comes down to the original PlayStation, do you know what they used as an anti-piracy method?
The little memory card chip thingies?
No, actually. So there was a way that they were able to write the data into the disk as a wobble. So the laser would actually look for the wobble.
Yeah.
Huh.
And they were able to do that, and then once it finished the cycle of the wobble, it'd start up the game. And
that's why it always sounded kind of weird when it would start up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They did it with PlayStation 2, didn't they?
And that's why sometimes the game wouldn't start up, because it wouldn't read the wobble right.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think they did it with PS2.
It started up similarly though.
It did, but I don't think they did the wobble. I think they did something else. It was like encryption or something.
Yeah.
There was another game that I know for a fact neither of you ever played.
Oh.
What would that game be?
It's a Spice Girls game.
Okay.
I don't recall a Spice Girls game.
Wait. Was it on Game Boy?
No, it was a PlayStation.
Okay, I don't recall it then.
I can't. Don't think it was 2. I think it was 1. Because it was in the plastic like CD disc cases,
Oh, okay.
so it wasn't in like the thicker cases. So I'm pretty sure it was PlayStation 1, and so it had like character type versions of the Spice Girls, and because they had like the big heads and like the tiny bodies, right?
Oh god, I remember seeing something about that game.
But you would like go in and they would have these like giant blocks that each one played like a certain bit of their song, and you had to step on them to get like your own version of it or try to get it as close to their version. And then once you did that, it would take you to the next stage, and you had this guy with this giant afro telling you, okay, now like match the steps. And like you had to click the buttons as they hit, like Dance Dance Revolution, but buttons. Like,
yeah.
And that's like
basically
the only
any quick
reason.
time event ever.
That's like the only reason I know their song of the "If You Want to Be My Lover." It's because I would sit there and I would play that, and I like never heard the song before playing that game, and I'd sit there, "If you want to be my lover." I like, as an adult now, I remember back to that, and I've heard the song and I've enjoyed the song, and I remember myself doing that as a kid. And I was like, oh my god. I was that
cringy.
Embarrassing little sister. Like, that was me. 'Cause that was my sister's game.
Oh my.
And I would play it when she wasn't home. And I was that sister. I was like, oh my god. I was like, I was horrible. Like, I can't sing. Like, but I'm sitting there just like, oh my god. But yeah, that's a game you guys do not know about.
Well, I know about it.
Yeah.
You know about it, but you never
I've never
played it.
Yeah.
God, I wish I could find a video of the stages in that game. It was
I'm sure you
ridiculous.
could.
Probably go on
It's-
YouTube.
It's probably not that difficult. There's a lot of stuff that's out there. And in fact, I saw a video here recently. I think it was just like a few months ago, or like last month and the month before. So it was this year. There was this guy who.
Holy crap!
You found it?
Dude, that's what they looked like.
Oh, God. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh my god.
Wow. Okay. What was I
They
saying?
have videos?
Hold on.
Dude. No. Like, I have to
What were
play
you saying?
this.
No, we can't. It might. It could.
We would get strike.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we have to play it afterwards then. Because I have to share this with you. This was my childhood, dude. Like...
But so there's this game that came out for the Nintendo DS that this guy had played at one point, and he was able to. He lost his games in a fire, like his game, his Nintendo DS and everything. He ended up buying another one, and he was able to re-download the game. And there was some DLC in the game that you could go through. But the way that it worked was you were actually able to haggle with this character to lower down the actual real price that you would have to pay, which was crazy because most games are like, hey, do you want to pay more and get this?
Right.
Anyway, he wondered, well, what would happen if I did go ahead and pay full price for for each DLC. So he went through the game and did that. He got all the DLCs at full price, and it showed a character at the end that nobody had seen before. It didn't show up under a Google search or anything like that. It was can't even remember. I just remember the Nintendo DS game was something about baseball.
It's because nobody wants full price for anything.
Yeah, nobody wants to pay full price for anything, and that's why nobody saw them, because nobody was going to try and pay full price to get their DLC. If it was offered, hey, I can hackle down, cool. Which was, I mean, like I guess the game itself had a very interesting like backstory besides playing the baseball part of it. Yeah. Which, I mean, it's kind of reminiscent of how Wii Sports was.
Right.
Yeah. Which, I love Wii Sports. I don't know why.
You would.
I know. There's something about it.
One of the only games that has bowling that I can get a strike in.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, you can't even get in real life.
They just twitch your wrist just right and you get a strike every time.
Right.
Lately, been looking into indie games on Steam, watching some on YouTube.
Oh, yeah?
See what looks interesting and stuff.
You could probably stream those, or at least, like, record some of those.
Well, I know one of the games I got on there ended up blowing up pretty good. Slay the Spire.
Slay the Spire.
It's how do I describe? It's a card battling
That's gonna have
roguelite.
to be another episode is like card and board games.
Card and boards, because
Especially
that was
RPG.
that was actually going to be my last question of the night to both of you guys. What's your favorite non-video game? Whether it be a card game or board game.
Are we asking it now, or
Yeah,
we should probably wrap it up?
we're rolling up at 55 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
probably a good time to wrap up.
I'll let you go first, Kevin.
Honestly, I don't know. There's a lot of these kids games out these days that are kind of like, really? I don't think I'd ever touch that, even if I was a kid.
Like what did you say or whatever? The
one
piece that you put in your mouth and you have to try to say whatever's on the card.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Never liked stuff like that. And the pie face, that was weird. I mean, it was fun.
It's like
but
the thrill of operation, but you actually get whipped cream in the face.
Right.
See, look, my question is, what if you don't have whipped cream?
Well, then you don't play the game.
Well, then you put something even nastier on there.
So, we didn't really get much of an opportunity to get into it as much as I would have liked to. And I really, really hope that we have the ability to start it back up very soon. But I really enjoyed when we started playing D&D.
Oh yeah.
Like, if we can get back into that, like, I will be super happy.
D&D
Especially
was
since-
something else, Son and I wanted to look into together at some point.
My mom had started her own campaign because they were really into it for like years. Where they would, she turned the dang garage into a freaking dungeon specifically for D&D. Just so happened to be finished by the time we had our wedding,
Which
but,
worked out fine.
Yeah.
but
you were
like, I mean, like, it was a weekly thing that they were doing. And I mean, it like they had a group of friends, multiple different cycles, campaigns, different dungeon masters, and then we started a family campaign with my parents, my grandma, Mark, and me, my brother's best friend. I mean, like, we really, really got into it, and then just kind of stopped. Like, the campaign never ended. We never got to the final bit of the story. My character had just been killed off. I had just created a new character and had been introduced into the story. Like,
Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, like, it was... We were having so much fun with it. And my family is full of crazy alcoholic, like, inappropriate people. So, I mean, it got raunchy and bad. But it was so much fun.
I could see how that would happen.
Like, oh my god. I mean, like, and then when you put the alcohol in with it, like, it was fun times. And there were some times where we all got so drunk the game just, like, derailed completely.
Like, we had to end the
we
game.
ended up switching to, like, Cards Against Humanity. Like,
Oh, we just didn't have a beach while we were down there.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I like Cards Against
I cannot see your parents playing Cards Against Humanity.
Well, my dad was in bed, but Mom played. And
I could
Really?
she
see
played some pretty weird cards.
I could see your mom playing. I can't see
My
your dad
nephew
playing.
Tyler will never get over my mom playing Man Meat.
Dude, like, I was like 6 or 7 months pregnant playing coat hanger abortions. Like everyone, no one expected me to play that, being the pregnant one, and I'm pretty sure it won almost every time I played it. Like,
I can see that.
like, that was one of the first times we played was when we first got together with my family. It was that first Easter after we got together, and we played it at my parents' house.
Yeah.
And some of the cards he played, like, my parents were like, "Oh, you fit right in." Like, it was the blood of the Antichrist in a cooler full of dead babies or something like that. Like, I mean, it was
a windmill full of corpses.
no, because it was for my next trick. I'll pull blank out of blank.
Oh yeah, I'll pull the
The blood of Christ out of a cooler full of dead babies.
No, it was out of the hearts of orphans.
Yes, out of the hearts of orphan children. Yeah. My mom looked at him and was like, you're part of the family. I mean, it's kind of scary when that is the defining factor.
And
but-
that was also the first time that I had played, and it was also the first time that I had gotten the best combination ever. Batman's guilty pleasure. Dead parents.
No, there is one better than that.
Oh yeah.
That's when someone forgets to take out the blank cards, and the card War. What is it good for?
And
is played.
It's a blank card. Absolutely not.
Like, I'm sorry. To me, that trumps Batman and
well,
Dead
that
Parents. Like,
that's like perfect match, but
it's irony because someone forgot to take that card out. Like,
yeah.
because those cards aren't supposed to be in there. You're supposed to write on them.
All right. Well,
That wraps up episode 6, 5. Where are we at, man?
I don't know. I mean,
What am I doing? I have been drinking.
We missed last week because I was away.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna do another one tomorrow.
Yeah, we are gonna do a second one tomorrow
Yeah.
to make up for it.
It's gonna be with the kids.
Yeah, we're gonna introduce some of the little ones. This will be episode 6.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna start doing the Truman Show thing. Yeah.
Do it.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Hope you enjoyed. And hope to
See
see
you
you.
next time.
Yeah, hope to see you again.
I don't think
Next
we can
video.
see him, Kevin.
You know what I mean.
All right.
Hope you
Bye.
join us.
Bye.